Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Yeah, so I chose to do the sexual harassment that females face in the sport management field. And the reason that I chose to do this issue is because I'm a student here at NDSU that is in sport management. So the harassment is something that I will one day be facing, and I want to bring attention to it and let people know that it's happening and that it's not okay and we need to put a stop to it.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Yeah, so we chose to do our group speech on abuse because we had a few people with a little bit different topics. And our call to action for that was that we wanted people to say something if they saw someone who was in an abusive relationship, or if they were in their own abusive relationship, start taking the steps and know what they are to get out of that abusive relationship.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
I think that the other members in my group would say that my biggest strength is my time management and the fact that I'm able to be a leader in our group. I think the reason they would say that is because while we were planning this group, I was the one that was in charge of picking when people needed to have their part of the speech in by so that we could practice and make sure that everything flowed well. And also on being a leader, I was in charge of kind of picking who did what, who spoke which part. So just that's why I think that they would say that my time management and leadership are my greatest strength.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
I think that the most challenging part of working in a team for us was that we all had very different topics originally. So it was really hard for us to agree on what topic we should choose. For example, I had the abuse that women faced in the sport management field, and another person in my group had sexual abuse. So while those are kind of similar, we had to kind of choose a broader topic. And another person had child abuse. So we really had to pick something broad that would cover every area, which is why we ended up going with the topic of abuse, and it all worked out in the end.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
Yeah, so I think that my biggest takeaway was that I really learned to practice before my speech and to practice in front of an audience. Before in speech classes, I would just kind of wing it and go in without practicing at all. And I think that learning in this class that I need to practice in front of an audience before I get to the big speech is something that really helped me get my grade up in this class, making me able to get the grade that I needed to get.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.